MC for the evening. I know her as Mama. Y'all know her as First Lady Thelma Griffin. She's loving, she's caring, she's funny, she's always willing to help. So on today, she will be your MC. Help me in welcoming her.
All right. All I can say is good evening. And Vanessa got me on this, so y'all just go along with us. And I know she got my daughter to say something. She don't talk before people either, but she did a beautiful job. Can we give her a hand for that? Now the first person that I want to call up is I met her, and we're talking about a Christmas miracle. This is along the Christmas time when you see miracles, or I don't know how many people like Christmas, and I love Christmas, and I know that Jesus is the reason for the season, but then, you know, sometimes we do try to throw our own little magical stuff in there like we see on TV, and I love that. But I met this young lady, I had stopped at a friend of mine's house and just got to talking, and she began to share a testimony with me, and I was like, oh my God, awesome. So I called Vanessa because she was saying she was looking for something special or something different. So I was like, you might want to talk to her. So Vanessa, I gave, you know, exchanged numbers, and so Vanessa talked to her and put her on the program. Okay. So I want to introduce right now a Christmas miracle by Carla Donaldson. Okay. Okay, you come up. Now if I mention your name, but just, you know, kind of look over me because I'm not good with pronouncing stuff, so I'm gonna do my best, y'all.
First of all, giving honor to God, who was the head of my life. And like she said, I was asked by First Lady Thelma, introduced to a friend, to come and give you all my testimony. So, with that being said, around this time last year, the day before New Year's, it was a typical day for me. I went to work, came home, dealt with my family like most of you all do now, and chores and keeping it real, moving on along. New Year's Eve, I woke up. I felt horrible. I just didn't know what was going on. So my daughter and my fiance, they took me to Bowens Jewish West. When I went to Bowens Jewish West, I had a fever of 107 and my pulse was 55. With that being said, Bowens Jewish West, they worked on me, got the fever down, and got my oxygen levels moving back in the right direction. And they released me and said, we're going to give her some prescriptions and we're going to send her home. She needs to drink some water and juice and rest. Okay, so now I went home and my fiance was getting ready to go get my prescriptions so the medicine can start working, so I could try to get better. Unfortunately, I collapsed in my kitchen. I collapsed in my kitchen. My fiance and my daughter called the ambulance and took me to St. Mary's. All I know is once I was in St. Mary's, I was on a respirator and a ventilator, life support, for 35 days. I was in a coma for 15 days. I was sleeping for 15 days. One doctor said, call the family. it don't look too good. They got some decisions that they gotta make. And no, it's just not good. We need to get whoever's in charge of her over here because it's ending real fast. Another doctor said, well, we tried all we can do, but it's one thing that we haven't tried. Let's try to see if we can wean her off the ventilator, the life support, and let's use the trait. So my niece had power of attorney over me and my brother, and they called her over there and everything, and I had praying family and friends going out on Facebook, praying and believing that God would turn this thing around.
Amen.
So they talked to my niece and my brother and my baby, and they told her what was going on, that this thing might not go great. My niece explained things to my daughter, and my daughter asked my niece, can I talk to the doctors? And my niece said, sure. My daughter told the doctor, she said, this is a hospital, right? They said, yeah. She said, y'all got medicine, right? They said, yeah. She said, you are doctors, right? They said, yeah. She said, but my mom always told me, there's one doctor that I can call. And I know that he's good. And everything that he's in, he's good. So you do your job, and he will do his.
Amen.
My baby testified that he's good. When I was sleeping in that coma, I was somewhere. I don't know where I was at. But I saw my mother and my father. Both of them were deceased. They had on white robes. And all I know is, every time I tried to take a step toward them saying, here I am, they moved further back like, no. They didn't speak. But every time I got closer and closer and said, Mama, why don't you let me touch you? Daddy, why don't you let me touch you? I'm here. I will see you. I'm here. Why are you running away from me? And they just kept throwing me back and doing this like, no. So they threw me back so hard till I woke up. And when I woke up, I saw my family and friends in the bed. And I was like, I've been somewhere. I don't know where I've been, but I've been somewhere. And I was just laying in that hospital bed. And I was just laying there. And one of my girlfriends who worked at the hospital, they say she used to come up every day and sing to me and say, God is good. Wake up, little girl, wake up. God is good. Wake up, little girl, wake up. Then I had one friend that always was over there, and it was her birthday. So I was not totally awake, but I could hear certain things that was going on. One of my girlfriends was singing, it's my birthday, it's my birthday, you gotta wake up, girl, wake up. And I was like, oh Lord, will she please shut up? And I'm sitting up here with a treat in my throat, and I'm still sedated and everything and stuff. So, you know, that was that going on. Then I guess my journey that came to an end at St. Mary's. So they said that they were going to be transferring me to this hospital, which is Kendra. Now I've been in St. Louis all my life, and I drive up and down Forest Point every day, all day long to get to work. I never knew that this hospital was right there. They specialize in traits and ventilators. And so after leaving St. Mary's, they transferred me over to Kendra. So when I got to Kendra, you know, people coming and visiting me and seeing me and everything and stuff. My one girlfriend, the same one time, it's her birthday, wake up. She came over there and she gave me a kiss. And they had like so many machines on me, like one in my nose, all in my arms, the tree. So I was out of the woods, but I wasn't totally out of the woods. Okay, she came over there trying to give me a kiss, and she knocked the tube out of my nose. And she got all upset, and she ran and got the nurse. The nurse came down there and was like, oh no, what did you do? Now we gotta call the doctor, So the nurse called the doctor, and he said, it's okay. It's okay. It fell out. We ain't get ready to put her, 2 or 3 hours messing with this thing again. So she's gonna be okay. So that was the first mistake that was made. Then, when they started saying that I needed to go to therapy, the therapist, they came in there a couple hours later trying to get me up to show me it's time for you to start trying to walk. I had machines all in my arms, IV and everything. So when the therapist people came in there, they knocked all of the machines out of my arm. Blood went everywhere, transfusion, blood, everything went everywhere. That was the second mistake, okay? Then, here come respiratory. I couldn't stand them people when I knew that they had to do their job, because these traits hurt when you first get them and they open. So here come respiratory. They doing their job, and I'm like, oh, this hurts so bad. So that was number 3. So when the next morning came, then the respiratory team was like looking at me like I had a problem. And I'm like, what's wrong? They was like, she ain't had no oxygen in 24 hours. But what was strange was they thought I should have knew that I didn't have no oxygen, because the mask was still on my nose. But when you got a trait, your air is breathing air. So that taught me that was 3 mistakes that was made right there. So a couple of days went by. So the nurse came in there. This nurse is going crazy. She like, we don't want you to have no company. We don't want therapy messing with you. Don't even go by the room. Forget it, because this ain't going to happen. We supposed to be getting this child better, and we keep making mistakes. So I started praying, and I was like, every mistake ain't bad. Y'all looking at these as mistakes. And I'm looking at them like, all of this in a day, God was moving machines off of me. He was like, it's time to turn around. You gotta come out of this state. So it was 3 mistakes made on the same day. The same day. Then one of the nurses from St. Mary's that came over there just to do some paperwork or something. She worked, I think, in both of them, and she came to the door. And she stood at the door, and this lady looked at me like she was about to pass out. Well, I got a trait in me. I still got drugs in me from the hospital. I'm looking at her, she looking at me, and she was like literally about to pass out. And I said, what's wrong? She said, you are a miracle. And you know why you're a miracle? She said, because when we brought you in the ICU, she said, we resuscitated you, okay? She said you was gone. And I was your nurse in ICU. And she said, you are a true miracle. So God is good. And all